Rain lashed against the windows, mimicking the pounding of our hearts as we huddled around the dusty Ouija board spread across the living room floor. Dawn was a distant memory, chased away by the promise of a sleepover fueled by forbidden knowledge. Sarah, the self-proclaimed leader, held the planchette in her trembling hands. "Okay, guys," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the storm's fury. "Is anyone there?" The planchette remained stubbornly still. We exchanged nervous glances, a mix of fear and excitement brewing in the air. Maybe the rumors were just that, rumors. Maybe the whispers of trapped spirits and demonic whispers were nothing more than campfire tales. "Come on," I muttered, a touch of bravado in my voice. "Let's try again. Is there a spirit present who wishes to communicate?" A slow, agonizing movement. The planchette twitched, then began a glacial crawl across the board. It stopped at the letter Y, sending a jolt of electricity through me. A collective gasp escaped our lips. Sarah, her voice barely a squeak, asked, "Who are you?" The planchette danced across the board, spelling out a chilling message, letter by letter. WITING. The room plunged into an unsettling silence. We stared at the message, goosebumps rising on our arms. The power flickered, plunging us into darkness for a horrifying moment before flickering back on. The message remained, accusing and taunting. Suddenly, a cold gust of wind swept through the room, extinguishing the candles we'd lit for ambience. A floorboard creaked in the hallway upstairs, sending shivers down my spine. We were alone, but somehow, it felt like we weren't. "Maybe it's just the wind," Sarah stammered, more to herself than to us. But we all knew better. The air grew heavy, thick with an unseen presence. A feeling of dread, cold and clammy, settled in our stomachs. A soft, rhythmic tapping began at the window facing the backyard. Each tap seemed to echo in our hearts, a chilling drumbeat of unknown intent. We huddled closer, fear turning the camaraderie into a desperate need for safety. "We should stop," I whispered, my voice barely above a whimper. "I agree," choked out Chloe, tears welling up in her eyes. Sarah, her face pale and drawn, nodded hesitantly. Gently, she placed the planchette back on the planchette rest. But the tapping at the window continued, growing more insistent. An icy terror gripped me. We weren't alone. Something had been awakened, and we didn't know how to put it back to sleep. As the night wore on, the tapping continued, a constant reminder of the darkness we had invited into our home. We learned a chilling truth that night: some things are better left undisturbed. The Ouija board became a grim trophy, a reminder of the night we dared to tempt fate, and were left shivering in the presence of something unseen, something we could only hope wouldn't follow us into the daylight.